Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome you all to the CXO Roundtable Mumbai. This is an initiative by the Talk. The Talk offers a very powerful platform for the businesses in India to collaborate, communicate, and offer meaningful business relationships and partnerships. This edition of CXO Roundtable is sponsored by the Tata Tele Business Services. They are the country's leading enabler of communication and connectivity solutions for the businesses in India. They offer services ranging from connectivity, communication, collaboration, IoT services, cloud, and marketing solutions. And they are also the leading provider of ICT services for the businesses in India, and of course, with the cloud security. So today we are here for a fantastic roundtable discussion. And the theme of today's session is going to be Scale Up Strategy with Tech Advantage by Easy Cloud. So before I start the session, let me introduce all the lovely speakers who have took time from their busy schedule to be here with us to participate in this great forum. So let me introduce everyone one by one. And as I introduce their names, let us give a quick round of applause as I introduce their name. I know this is a virtual session, but let's do it so that we have a good energy flowing inside the room. I would like to start by introducing Mr. Devakumar Sanyasi, Managing Director, Vilva Infotech Private Limited. Welcome, Mr. Devakumar. We also have Mr. Manav Kapoor, co-founder and CBO, Ideabridge. Welcome, Mr. Manav.
Thank you.
We have Mr. Mahesh Bhatt, Vice President, Kirticorp. We also have Mr. Durgesh Guptaa, Vice President, BGAUSS. Welcome, Mr. Durgesh. We have Mr. Bhartendu Vimal, CEO and Director, STEM Intec LLP and Consultancy. Welcome, Mr. Bhartendu. We also have Mr. Manish Singh, General Manager, SME Operations Enterprise. Welcome, Mr. Manish.
Thank you.
And we have our very own charming Janis Das, Regional Marketing Head, Mumbai, Tata Teleservices Limited. Welcome, Janis.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody.
Finally get to see you, Janis. Thank you. So before I start the session, let me quickly ask Janis to give a brief introduction for today's session. Over to you, Janis.
Thank you, Muthu. And a very good evening to all the eminent speakers and to all the participants. On behalf of Tata Tele Business Services, I would like to take some time out to take you through as to what are the core strengths which we have and what is the focus in the market. So Tata Tele Business Services, it is also known as TTBS, it belongs to the prestigious Tata Group of companies, which is the country's leading enabler of connectivity and communication solutions for businesses, with services ranging from connectivity, collaboration, cloud, security, Internet of Things, and marketing solutions. TTBS offers the largest portfolio of ICT services for businesses in India. Now, we have seen in the past 1.5 years that how COVID-19 has acted as a tipping point for digital transformation of the workplace. And this is speeding up further, as technology is now a vital pivot on which enterprises are totally dependent for their business continuity and growth. Therefore, digital agility is becoming a critical factor for the workforce to communicate and collaborate effectively, both internally and with customers. Now, enterprises are moving fast on their digital curve, and they are embracing hybrid work culture that allows them to service their customers from anywhere and anytime. To meet this growing demand, we have strengthened our portfolio of services such as cloud-based communication solutions, collaboration solutions, IoT, data management, and cybersecurity solutions. We have recently launched Advanced Cloud Communication Suite SmartFlow, which combines an uninterrupted flow of business communication with intelligent call routing and monitoring. Not only this, it also offers on-demand scalability, which allows businesses to adapt quickly to changing business conditions. SmartFlow also comes with enterprise-grade security and reliability. We are also happy to tell you that as a leading provider of digital solutions, we have launched of Easy Cloud Connect, an easy, fast, reliable, cost-effective, and secure point-to-point cloud connectivity gateway. Easy Cloud Connect enables enterprises to bypass the internet and deliver data to and from the cloud services provider by establishing a dedicated private network. Easy Cloud Connect provides improved and consistent network experience with greater bandwidth throughout throughput while reducing capital and operational expenses. It's a one-stop cloud connectivity solution that has all three elements. So Easy Cloud Connect has baseline connectivity plus cross connect plus cloud core bundled as a single product offering, thus saving an enterprise the cost and effort to deal with multiple service providers and at times suboptimal solutions that may impact their productivity. So for enterprises, Easy Cloud Connect is an all-in-one integrated solution which is easy on the pocket, easy to scale, easy to manage, and easy to secure. Enterprises can now experience an all-new and easy way of connecting to the cloud. So, for the last 2 decades, our deep customer engagements have helped us to develop solutions that would enable enterprises to compete and win in their respective business segments. We will continue to play the role of technology enabler by strengthening our portfolio of services in all these areas and helping our enterprises to do big. So thank you once again to all the eminent speakers for sparing your time and joining this session. I'm sure it will be a very insightful one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Janis Das, for setting up the note on today's session so high. So thank you once again for your brief and beautiful welcome address. So let us quickly jump on to today's panel discussion. As I told you already, the theme is a scale-up strategy with the advantage of Easy Cloud. So before we go all techie, I would love to understand something which dates back to 2 years. I think no one would be forgetting the March of 2020, right? So when the government announced lockdown everywhere, we were all startled. Of course, there are a lot of business which had a boom during this pandemic, and every industry had its own set of pros and cons. But I would love to understand from each and every one of you. Let us have a quick trip of nostalgia, right? So let me ask you, what went through your mind when the lockdown began, and what were your priorities as the CXO? I'd love to start with Mr. Mahesh Bhatt. Over to you, sir. So please unmute before you speak.
Oh God, don't give lockdown and COVID and pandemic to the world. Sincere prayer to divine. I'm a spiritual person at heart, and I have done lots of things in the lockdown. The first fundamental thing on which I have been giving corporate programs on attitudes and values, I wrote down a book on which I've taken 1,000+ sessions and published it at Amazon, Universal Values of Rich Kingdom. As a Brahmin, I thought if I die, I'll carry all the knowledge with me, which is not good. And it's time to hand over. So whatever experiences I had, whatever documentation I had, first 3 months I collated, and Ashadi Ekadashi, I published it. Fear was there, but I am a pretty brave person, and I believed that technology could save and will save the day. And I think IT has been an outshiner all along. Startup companies are glowing. India is booming. People don't know that 2.25 lakh billion US dollar has come in India. Okay, $10 billion has gone in Bitcoins. Okay, cryptocurrency. So there is enough money in the market, and IT as well as telecom, as well as infrastructure. Nobody talks about it. Cloud. We have brought a communication revolution, like there was agricultural revolution, industrial revolution. I pat my back, and all team and lots and millions of guys like us have built networks, have built systems, have built data centers, have built processes. Today, Nika is a billionaire, Falguni Nair, thanks to IT at the back end. Okay, there are enough and more stories, but it's a sunrise time for Indians. I served lots of COVID patients. My daughter got married with 25 people at home, where I had booked 400 sitting arrangement at a 3-star hotel. I couldn't do that. So lot of grounding Mem Saab, my wife used to tell me in first 3 months, clean up, washing, cooking. My son learned chapati making. We served senior citizens. हम लंगर में जाके खाना खिलाते थे लोगों को. Okay, I have donated blood twice to Tata Memorial Hospital. At one time 450 bottles, second time 600 bottles. There is enough to be done, sir. Enough to be done. Let's not get scared. Media as well as fraternity. COVID ko sir pe nachaya. Let's bring it down. Let's fight it out. I have run marathon, and I don't know, never before in history of mankind we have seen, nobody knows what is it, and each one is an expert on COVID. So God bless us all, and we are out. No COVID so far. Both the vaccines done, and I have been going out daily, actually all along the lockdown. I used to play hide and seek with the police to get a walk in the evening out. So,
all right. Thank you.
But
Thank
safely,
you so
safely.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mahesh. Even I am a very spiritual person, only during the turbulence. Otherwise, I don't really bother much. But thank you so much for that nostalgic trip. Let me quickly pass on the mic to Mr. Devakumar. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, pandemic, everybody has gone through different experiences, and definitely the whole thing is whatever we thought normal was challenged, and then it was given a totally different perspective to address the issues. So from the business perspective, yes, we wanted to serve our customers without having any impact on the pandemic. So that was a challenge. So we need to collaborate with them, understand their challenges, and then come up with common ideas. And we did work out, and we were able to meet those challenges in a simple way, not something in a big way, but we maintained our service level as much as possible with our customers, which was very much appreciated. And on a personal level, yes, it was quite a bit of introspection. So there is a lot of new things which has been come in the mind. So we have plans to move forward and do them. Thank you very much.
Fantastic, fantastic, Mr. Devakumar. Let's all be optimistic. I think optimism is the only thing which we need to have in our hearts for the rest moving forward. So let me quickly ask Mr. Manav Kapoor at this juncture to come in.
Yeah, so I think this COVID pandemic has teaches us a lot of lessons in terms of you can say our readiness in terms of the remote infrastructure, or basically the data security, even the employee mental balance, and having a robust you can say collaboration tool within the organization. So we have been basically driving a lot of initiatives. First, you can say focus was around employee health and safety. So where we were basically, you can say tracking the COVID assessment of each an employee, whether they're not in the containment zone or if they need any help. So the first focus definitely was on the employee safety and mental balance. And then in terms of our infrastructure, we moved to Microsoft Azure, basically like our SaaS application, and then even we set up you can say a robust infrastructure for even our product development, and utilizing you can say the AI ML capabilities of cloud platforms. So we are happy in terms of even knowing about the Easy Cloud, and we would like to definitely collaborate with Tata Teleservices also on that, and understand how this can actually help us to extend this offering to the customer. So there are a lot of learnings from the COVID, which would like to basically take it as a cognization and learn from there and move forward.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Manav. I would like to ask Mr. Bhartendu. Sir, over to you.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. And yes, the COVID was certainly, it was the surprising case to everybody. And as the Mahesh Bhatt is saying, for the issue, spiritual and all the parts, you know, again, we will never think about that. It should be happen. But certainly what we can do, being as a startup, we are not the old organization. After 5 years, things is coming. And in our practice, we was started few years back to the spiritual practice, you know, in our organization. Every day we are do the meditation in the regular basis. So once it was coming, we was focused more to the being as a QHSC field. We will focus to the employees as the customer or the society to the quality, health, and safety. And for that, the quality and the health we are measuring to the all individuals. Where is it okay or not? Which conditions and how we can able to support on that for the individual employees levels. And we will insist more to the in every day 2 times we was started the meditations among with our employees. Not in the India, in the global platform also. We have this some business associate of abroad level also. So we will make the join of that, and that will be give the inner strength to fight of the such crucial situations. So for the employees, we do on that way. And then what the things, for the startup in the certain levels, you are in the growing stage, something will be coming and just stuck you to the everywhere. So our business, may was focused in pan India, and once the lockdown was done, we understand that that will be give something, some foresight sign is coming, And I'm also the spiritual person. I'm associated with some of the spiritual gurus or humanitarians, right? So what we can focus, we will immediately train our team through the, the phone calling, video calling, WhatsApp, on that time, immediately the Zoom and WhatsApp was there.
Keep it short since the time is running.
Yeah. So that's we can focus on the employees development. And whereas this country was not too much affected, we was shifted our intention to develop that organization, that countries, to do some of the business, and related to that, we focus again to the QHSC, quality, health, safety, how the society will come up on that.
I understand. Thank you, Mr. Bhartendu. So yoga, spirituality, I think this entire panel is starting to become like one motivational book. So yes, I would like to pass it on to Mr. Durgesh. Over to you, Mr. Durgesh.
Yeah, so there are three things on my mind as soon as I heard about the lockdown. The first and foremost, I don't know whether you will take it positive or negative. But the first and foremost was, wow, there's going to be zero pollution in the country now, right? So no pollution at all, no vehicle movement. That was the first thought. The second thought was, how are my dealers across the country going to survive this, right? How are their staffs going to survive this further plight now? And third was like, when is this lockdown going to end? And when it ends, what's going to be the supply chain issues which the country is going to face? So that were the thought process which was running in my mind as soon as I heard about this. So that's it from my side.
All right. That was very crisp and, a quick tour of nostalgia. When he said about there is no less pollution, there were a lot of pictures that was storming through the internet, that they can see this building and that building from this part of the city and that part of the city and everything. And I also like to re-quote Mr. Mahesh, but one of the statements, what he had said, I think this was on a very funnier note, because when he was talking about a lot of motivational sessions by a lot of different, business coaches and everyone, I paid some certain $1,000 and I sat there and the speaker said, do nothing. I was like, I didn't pay this much thousand to hear this. He said, don't do anything, just sit back and enjoy, was what he said. But anyways, we all had a very great time, both at home, and we had a lot of thought process, just like how Durgesh said on the flip side. So thinking about how the future is going to be and how the distributors and the dealers are going to survive was a very big concern for manufacturers and the ones who are into the supply chain business. But before we move on to the next question, I would love to understand from Mr. Manish. Sir, I would like to understand from you, how can EC Cloud help the business growth or redefine the business growth? Mr. Manish, I would love to understand from you. Over to you.
Yeah, good afternoon to all. I think it's a privilege to be part of this group today. And so I heard you all so very briefly, my position was also, I was in a dilemma, so if I talk about March 2020, when we actually were staring at a lockdown scenario, and somehow I would want to kind of be with Durgesh in terms of the thought process as to how things are going to move. Really, I mean, it was a very uh, I would say very. I mean, the things were not very clear at all. I mean, the budgets were all frozen because March, you normally you freeze the budgets for the next year, and obviously we never thought that a pandemic would come and there will be a lockdown. So, and it was and we always look at a growth. So every business does, right? And then when you hit a COVID lockdown, you are absolutely unsettled. So the first few days, I'm sure various enterprises were very unsettled, individuals, enterprise, everybody. But the marvel that I saw, and as days progress in terms of the way these enterprises, whether it's big, large, or small enterprises, how they adopted the digital technology and ensured that the business continuity is there. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. I mean, and I have seen examples because since I'm on this part of the chair, and I've been interacting with a lot of SMEs and enterprises across the country. I've seen the way they have really taken up to this challenge and saw an opportunity in this entire situation, and that was brilliant. And that is exactly how we, and as Janis was putting across, we have launched almost close to about 25 to 30 products only during the lockdown, and these products were all to help people work from home. And some of those have been really very successful because it really touched upon the exact requirement which the customers or the enterprises were having at that point of time. So products like SmartFlow, SmartFlow basically is nothing but the cloud telephony services that we launched during the lockdown, which helped a lot of BPOs, KPOs, even enterprises to be in touch with their clients sitting from the comfort of their home. And that was a brilliant product, and it's really doing great. We've now launched Easy Cloud. So Easy Cloud is packaged in such a way where it's a single stop solution for an enterprise customer. He need not be meeting with multiple vendors or multiple access points for getting this Easy Cloud. It comes with even the cross connect and the cloud port access, which is configured according to the needs of the cloud service provider. And it enables ease of procurement and usage, since it is low cost, optimized, and a highly simple to scale up service, and can be managed to provide protection and security for the enterprises, the data and everything. So I guess Easy Cloud is one solution where we have kind of done away with multiple entry interactions. It's not only easy to operate, but is also SLA compliant as well. This bundle solution is meant for secure and reliable connectivity across offices, cloud ports, and necessary data centers. So that is what Easy Cloud is in a very brief kind of a box.
Right. Fantastic, Mr. Manish. Thank you so much for that lovely snippet of information. Let me ask the same question to this panel. I would like to start once again with Mr. Mahesh, but how Easy Cloud can redefine your business growth? So, over to you. So please unmute.
So we all are sort of trying to label Easy Cloud, Google, Azure, AWS. At the end, back end, we all are using cloud. You love it, you hate it. Gmail is the cloud. Hotmail is the cloud. Now they have moved to Azure. Okay. So we don't know, or many technical people do know they are using the cloud at multi-locationals. But coming to Easy Cloud, and I have been very blessed to work with Tata's very closely in my earlier assignment as a system integrator, and one of the best groups, honestly, in India, technically also. Okay. So Easy Cloud will help us to ensure multiple locational SME offices to be securely connected. And as Manish told, with applications like mailing, with voice over IP solution, with security, with storage, uh, it's a good piece of wrapper, which he told one-stop shop, for which I value Tata's technology. and Tata Teleservices. You can close your eyes and put your money there. And you can quickly start your business in an SME scale, like a gentleman who is doing scooters business here, Durgesh, or somebody is into audit and various other businesses as such. And any of the startups which we see today, which are going in the IPO level, these startups will not have dreamt to get these valuations without technology, including cloud. Okay. So on an Android as well as cloud, they become a massive success story if you have a good idea, good product, good domain knowledge, and good technical business as well as operations and finance people. And that's the story of this generation. And Tata Teleservices at the back end is enabling billions of entrepreneurs here in India, for which Tata's to Tata's.
Thank you, Mr. Mahesh.
We are blessed to have such. As I told you, I did blood donation for Tata Cancer Hospital. What a big ropadunga, sir. My mother was a cancer patient, so they are two good people. We love them.
Fantastic.
We learn from them.
We all love them.
We value them also, really. Invaluable. We are blessed to have Tata.
Thank you, Mr. Mahesh. I would love to pass on this to Mr. Devakumar. Sir, over to you.
Yeah. What we have done in terms of leveraging the cloud and connectivity, because there is multiple solutions available in terms of cloud and connectivity. Of course, AC Cloud from Tata Tele is one of the connectivity solutions that we are talking about. But what we went ahead one step further is to improve the collaborative processes. We implemented enterprise mobility solutions much ahead of pandemic with few of the clients in the insurance sector. And then once the pandemic hit, then it became an important solution for them. And then they started expanding it further on that. So we feel that enterprise mobility and collaborative processes will extend the advantages of the cloud into the real hands of the customer and the transactions. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Devakumar. I would like to understand the same with Mr. Manav. Over to you.
Yeah, so I think with Easy Cloud, it can actually help us to redefine the business. Basically, the kind of security or the scalability is basically one of the things which every customer looks at. So giving an example, like we are in the innovation space and our software as a service model, customers first would like to go with a pilot with like 100 user, 200 user. And once that is successful, they want to basically roll it out to their entire, you can say, workforce of 5,000, 10,000 people. So what we have seen, the difference between on-premise deployment and the cloud is, you can say, pretty beneficial for the customer in terms of on the cloud. They don't have to think for the investment. Everything is actually taking care of the scalability, the security. There are a lot of the analytics which have been generated over the cloud, which is helpful for the business. And this definitely help in terms of the loss prevention, or there is a proper disaster recovery strategy. There's an increased collaboration which is happening with the cloud, like the gentleman mentioned. So definitely the cloud is the way forward, and we are also trying to basically focus on the cloud adoption in terms of our innovation platform as well.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Manav. Let me quickly pass on the mic to Mr. Durgesh.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm not so much aware about Easy Cloud, but as I understand cloud as a wholesome thing, I definitely see that everything is moving onto the cloud, as everyone has mentioned. So my dealers are completely on DMS now. All the sales executive of the dealer are on LMS, which is on their mobile app. My entire operations, our entire ERP is online. Including the customer's app has completely moved from paper to completely paperless and on the PWA app. It's a progressive web app that we have moved into. So that's something which we have moved entirely on the cloud now.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Durgesh. And I think one of the biggest concerns for us as a business owners during this pandemic was to keep on this relationship with our customers and vendors, right? How to continue to establish the communications with them, how to keep in touch with them even during this difficult times like the pandemic. So talking about this communication and the experience with these customers. I would love to once again understand from the panel how the pivot of Easy Cloud can enhance the experience and efficiency amongst your customers. I would again like to start with Mr. Mahesh, but over to you.
So, in terms of Easy Cloud, the advantage what it offers is a one-stop shop for voice, video, data. Secondly, in the lockdown period, there are a lot of small and medium consultants as well as support staff in production, support staff in software, in automobile dealership. There are a lot of technical, operational, and administrative support staff. Uh, as a lifeline, Easy Cloud kept this lights glowing. Maybe if not 100% work, we did achieve 50, 60, 65 in lots of sectors. Okay, it was not a total breakdown. And purely because of technology, there are companies which have shifted their computers at home. I know a lot of IT, ITS, BPOs, lots of automobile companies have shifted their systems at home. Okay, so these all couldn't have been possible had there not been a flexible as well as easily deployable multiple technologies from one-stop shop.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mahesh. I would like to understand the same from Mr. Devakumar.
Yes. As far as the customer focus is concerned, customer engagement has transformed from face-to-face to remote. So the only way that you can communicate is through having a connectivity. And cloud solutions enables also to connect to the legacy system and their processes, which otherwise will not be possible without having a secure and reliable connectivity. And as I explained earlier, collaborative processes also enhance the productivity in the challenging pandemic times by using cloud solutions.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Devakumar. Let me ask the same to Mr. Manav. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, so basically, I think Easy Cloud is definitely helping to enhance experience and efficiency. So basically, it helps us to give access to the customer data. We can basically understand the consumer behavior. We can do speech analytics, sentiment analysis. Basically, it also reduces call waiting. Then we can focus more on the customer loyalty. So definitely getting all the communication and the connectivity solutions under one roof make a lot of sense for the customer and adds real value to the business.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Manav. Mr. Durgesh, I think since you're not much aware of the Easy Cloud, let me put you into a different term. How could you use the cloud to enhance the customer experience and the efficiency? Over to you, Durgesh.
Right. So I think as such, we were probably the first organization which moved from a paper-based customer interaction or experience into a completely QR-based engagement with the customer. When what we did was we kept a QR code with all our executive sales staff of our dealership. And they were just able to share this QR code or just the link, and the customer was able to get a digital brochure wherein everything was in the progressive web app, and they were able to interact. We were able to, because of this, what happened was we were able to take decisions on data rather than just going on the gut feel of the dealer staff. So that's something which completely changed and really has been helping us. So I think paperless and digital with data analytics is something which cloud helped us.
I understand. Fantastic. Before I jump out of the next question, I think I would like to invite Mr. Manish Singh once again and ask him to give a small explanation about how Cloud Easy helps in the enhancement of customer experience and efficiency.
Okay. Thanks for the question, Muthu. See, if you look at the way it has been happening today, so there are multiple cloud systems which is in practice at the moment. Adoption of cloud is both futuristically and strategically important for a corporate, whose goal is to be ready for the future. So anybody who wants to be ready for the future has to, or probably needs to, adopt to cloud strategy quickly, because organizations are focusing on agility of businesses with a hybrid kind of a cloud strategy to control, innovation. And so you have multiple cloud atmosphere at the moment, and institutions normally depend on the private networks that connect to different data centers and the branches, and secure and a dependable cloud service provider, which offers full security. So we know that Microsoft Azure, Oracle, Amazon Web, these are some of the cloud operators who are giving agile and future-proof infrastructure, which is OPEX based, not CAPEX. But still, especially in the small and medium enterprise or medium enterprise segment, the internet security and the internet performances, which is seemingly still non-reliable. That is where we come into the picture with Easy Cloud, because this is a connectivity which is based on a private lease circuit. So whether it's a local circuit which is within the city, or it can also be a national private lease circuit, so it could be across states and across cities, right? But it is a physical private connectivity that we offer. So which means what? It is very secure, and you don't have the seemingly that risk of a internet performance or a non-reliable kind of a security. So it's a private channel which we create, which offers you not only security but also, apart from reliability, it also is very scalable. See, today's enterprises, especially these small and medium enterprises, they need not worry about these things. They can just offload these to people like us or operators like us, and they more or less they focus more on their core competence of doing their business, and trying to increase the productivity. This part obviously will be taken care of by operators or companies like us, and we can really take care of that.
Thank you, Mr. Manish. So let me move on to the next part of panel discussion. So I think one of the statements which I would like to state now, I think most of us will not deny, is that this entire concept of technology has already been in prevalence. But I think this pandemic had just made us to embrace these technologies a lot quicker. I think all these Zoom or any other video conferencing platform, I think we had Skype for that matter for a very long time. But I don't think so that was of much bigger use than just a one-to-one calling facility. But now, see, every other phone in India has Zoom, right? So I think there are a lot of technology that has been quickly embraced within a very, very short period of time because of this pandemic. And when I say technology, it starts with Gmail, right? Right from the mailing system, right from the calling system, and right from the software that is allocated like Slack for a delegation software and the video conferencing apps, like right from a mailing, just a small mailing, or even the WhatsApp, starting from that to big, technologies like the EC clouds or the cloud telephony. This technology has been playing a very, very pivotal role, right? So talking about that, I would love to understand what kind of technology adoption have you initiated to ensure your business continuity. I would like to start with Mr. Bhartendu. This time, Mr. Bhartendu, over to you. So please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Continuity of the business, get and stay connected with the peer was the major challenge. We have used the MS Office, Zooms and etc. for internal meetings and or the client meeting. It depends on the cloud resource. Help us to stay the business and stay connected. Is it?
All right.
So this is ensuring our continuity of it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bhartendu. I'd like to ask Mr. Durgesh.
Yeah, so as far as we are concerned, so as I mentioned earlier about all the tools which we started using, apart from that, just to add on, I think as everyone has mentioned about Zoom and other tools, video-based tools, because we were not able to conduct the physical meetings. So I think Google Meet was a go-to for us. I think that was a big savior for us when we were able to still conduct the meetings. And then we moved completely from MS Office to Google Workspace, which I think would have never happened if it was not a pandemic. So only because of that, I was able to force my team to move from MS Office and get into the Google Workspace. We also implemented Asana, wherein we were able to manage the entire project status, everything on a real-time basis, collaboratively with the team.
All right, fantastic, Mr. Durgesh. I would like to ask the same to Mr. Mahesh Bhatt. So please unmute. Yeah.
As an internal consumer of technology and our startup companies, one of the primary reason, as Mr. Manish mentioned, endpoint security had to be enforced as well as monitored. And simple functions like login and logout, physical health, heartbeat, whether this gentlemen are physically here or just, keeping the computer on and going for a cup of tea or sleeping. As a HR, we had some tools to physically track the usages of their applications, their work, their internal collaborative calls, which we used to take, and vice versa on the front side with the sales side, and with our consulting partners, like lots of schools and colleges had huge learning management systems, as well as teachers and professors, getting handshaken. Uh, that was a good work which we did. And healthcare space, I just forget to thank our minister, prime minister, as well as a lot of IT people behind, and not to forget the vaccination guy, Krishna Ila.
Right.
Technically, as well as pharmaceutically, as well as operationally, I think nowhere in the world we did fantastic. And even donating vaccines. Hats off. I think India has arrived and we will do better from this place.
Fantastic. Thanks for that lovely bit of positivity, sir. Let me ask the same. Mr. Devakumar, over to you, sir.
Yeah, see, our experience with the healthcare sector is one that I would like to share. We had implemented cloud-based access of electronic medical records, especially the images related to the medical records, to be available on the mobile and then through the cloud solution. And that was used, and it's not been it's not been adopted very widely in the leading hospital. But in view of the pandemic, that it become a very critical tool for them to engage with their patients and give a timely care. Thank you.
Fantastic, Mr. Devakumar. I would like to finally ask Mr. Manav for the same. Sir, over to you.
So basically, there are a lot of initiatives which we have driven during the pandemic to ensure there's a continuity in business. Like for us, the priority was basically providing timely support to the customer, like team being distributed or working from remotely. There are a lot of challenges, but we ensure that there are proper tools implemented, like Asana for the project management or the ticket management for you using Jira. So we also implemented a chatbot where the customers can directly interact, or basically whatever you can say FAQ questions are there that can be quickly answered, and there is no you can say delay in the further process. So there were a lot of, even our contract management was completely digitized in terms of all the NDAs, reseller agreement and everything. We digitized using a contract management software, which really helped us in terms of expediting the response as well to the partners or to the customers, which was one of the bottleneck in integration with the digital signature. So these initiatives definitely helped us to ensure there's a continuity in the business, and we are basically digitizing or going paperless during this pandemic area.
All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Manav. Moving to one of a very both chaotic and at the same time funny kind of an experience is when this technology becomes an enemy to us. It's like for instance, I would like to talk about the moments when we get struck in the middle of video conferencing, right when we are about to present something big, our screen sharing doesn't work or our video stops. And I think for the last 1.5 years, one of the most commonly spoke words after hello and good afternoon is, am I audible, or am I visible? I think these are the most commonly spoken words. So that is how it has been. Like, of course, technology has its own set of pros, but on the business owner's point of view, there were challenges when our employees were in remote places, and giving them with the proper bandwidth was a big problem, and giving them with the proper machinery to get connected was a bit of a problem. So talking about all those challenges, I would like to understand with the panel once again, what were some of the challenges you faced while adopting to this digital normal? I would again like to start with Mr. Bhartendu. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, majorly we face the problem for the integration. We was earlier in the somehow office work in the office, and now it is a digital. Employees work from home, so everything cannot be easy, and sometimes the application is based, and that is not shifted to the complete data. So these are the major problem, and the sometimes face the problem of the some of the securities problem also. Implies not directly impacting of the productivity of that parts. Some they are a scale up, and somewhere they are not able to manage of that. Sometimes it is the the customer has the demand, but the data it is already in the place in the office, and every data is not shifted. So integration is the major challenge for us.
Fantastic, fantastic, Mr. Bhartendu. I think rightly said, when we are facing a lot of problem with integration. I'll definitely get back to you on that very shortly. But before that, let me ask the same to Mr. Durgesh.
I feel that any change or whatever the change comes in, so it's first definitely revolted, then resisted, and only then it's accepted. And the bigger the change, the bigger the resistance you'll get. So for us, the biggest challenge was in terms of moving from pamphlets or the catalogs, as you may call, into the QR code.
Okay.
So the mindset of everyone, every dealer staff. So when it happens at a little bit higher level, it becomes easier. But at the lowest level, trying to convince everyone saying that no, the catalog is not required anymore. We need to get to QR code. And if you send QR code, customer will be able to download the app, right? And they will be able to open the app real time and interact with you, was something a nightmare, which we really faced challenge, but somehow we were able to convince and we were able to adapt to it.
And I think that was a very lovely initiative that it was from your end, I think.
Right.
But even though it was very difficult at the end, but I think now you are in a very comfortable position. And I think achieving what you already have in mind. Congratulations for that. So let me quickly pull in Mr. Mahesh Bhatt once again. Sir, I would like to understand your perspective on this.
Okay, to be honest to you, one of my companies actually is heading into bankruptcy. Being very honest to you, one of my biggest dreams, something like Netflix, we were planning to launch somewhere in April 1st. And we had scaled it up to 100,000 set-top boxes, smart set-top boxes. And boom, you just can't move with the cable operators. You can't order the hardware. It is a real challenge for a startup. We are bleeding, honestly bleeding through the nose. But then positively, if I look after a year, again, we are bouncing back. We are getting good investment as well as operations partner. Technical challenges will remain. Nothing comes free. Nothing will be totally perfect. Okay. But what we have delivered technically at systems layer, IP layer, network layer, application layer, cloud layer, web layer, mobility layer, I think we are greedy with technology. I'm feeling we are asking too much. Okay, in the bathroom I can give you WhatsApp. Okay, what more you want? Somewhere we are drugged with technology. That's another problem which I'm facing. And another aspect is humans are cheating. People are not answering phones. People are opening the systems and switching off themselves. The sales guys have to work harder in this situation. They have to call more. meetings not possible, but keep pushing. Those attitudes as well as the grit to sort of never fail or fight. Those were the challenges I feel. Even people with 3 crore salaries were not picking up the phone, and that was hurting me. That God has given them money. They have such a senior level positions. Why don't they answer the phone calls? And I cried. I have cried many times on the streets, seeing the pathetic state of mankind and business, that our shops were closed down, the small and medium. God, don't give anything again, please. I sincerely mean. But yes, human spirit is bigger. We will fight back. We are fighting back. And the numbers are going again for us. So give us 6-9 months and we will deliver. India will deliver, and all people, again, we will be back on track. It's just a matter of time. Be positive and keep pushing and work harder. That's my suggestion. Don't lose hope and don't lose love and passion to your work. Things will happen.
Fantastic, sir. I think listening to you is like listening to a small podcast of motivation. Thank you so much, Mr. Mahesh. I would like to again pass on to Mr. Devakumar. Sir, over to you.
Yeah, as far as the adoption is concerned, everybody knows that pandemic has given that motivation to adopt the digital technology, and collaboration and communication tools have been the top of the day here. And as far as the tools and technology solutions that we have recommended for and provided to our customers, we made sure that it had that right kind of a usability, so that the users are not struck or they need extensive training to use them. Therefore, they were able to adapt to it and use those solutions quite fast. But nevertheless, there were certain issues, and we were to give handholding and support and make improvements over a period of time. Thank you.
All right. Fantastic, Mr. Devakumar. Let me ask Mr. Manav about the same. Over to you, Mr. Manav.
See, some of the biggest challenges which we face in the pandemic were basically, which actually the enterprise faces in adopting the new digital software or the digital transformation, were change management and culture and adoption. So being in the innovation space, so we used to interact with the CEO, MD, or basically the decision makers, but their concern was that you have a beautiful product, but I don't have a culture of innovation in my organization, how to address that. So we also thought that this is a good opportunity for us to basically introduce innovation as a service. So we take the entire responsibility of providing software as a service, and we have an innovation architect who will help these companies to identify their business problems or challenges, which they're even struggling to. And without having a problem statement or a challenge, there is no point in actually going ahead with these innovation or doing these campaigns for even collecting ideas from their employees or business partners. So this was pretty helpful for us. And then even wherever we implement a software, we understand in terms of basically what is the change management process or the culture in the organization. According to that, we have some programs which help these companies to increase the adoption and handholding of the system. At the end of a day, they have to have ROI, return on investment. So if we are able to help them to achieve this adoption and change in the culture, we think that our partnership is successful.
Right. Fantastic, Mr. Manav. And talking about the challenges, I think one of the basic qualities or one of the basic traits of a business owner is always to find the solutions for the problems that is kept on the table. So talking about which, I would love to understand from the panel, what kind of enterprise solutions do you feel can enhance your business productivity in the upcoming days? I would again like to start with Mr. Bhartendu. What kind of technology, what kind of enterprise technologies do you feel will enhance your business productivity? Over to you.
Yes, Mr. Muthu. For our services, being as a service industries, we almost applications where is the everything says associated, like the Bhatt is saying that the Tata services. No, such type of digital one place, one spot solution. In our, we are not in the IT, so in the consultancy services or management services, it can be help us. Right, some of the others providers also it is available. and different one place, every sectors, operations, sales, and everything will be, you can collaborate. So data will be not. I am always facing with the data. So I maybe the tomorrow it will be the good for us, Tata's Tele.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bhartendu. I'd like to ask Mr. Durgesh at this juncture. Mr. Durgesh, over to you.
Yeah, so I think again, three things from my side, which I think would definitely help enhance our productivity as an organization. One would be a robust ERP, because whatever ERP we're using currently, I still don't have that confidence that it will be able to help us scale 10x, which we are looking at. Second is Industry 4.0. So that's something which definitely we need to work towards and get into it. Wherein, if at all I don't look at the automation, definitely that 10x growth can definitely become a nightmare, right? It will not be a controllable growth. And the third thing is end-to-end asset management for the vehicle and the batteries, because this is all going to be on the road. And I foresee that there is something which is going to be a swappable battery system which can come in place. A vehicle can be sold without the batteries. And that's where I see that probably end-to-end asset management is something which can help us in a big way.
Fantastic, Mr. Durgesh. Let me ask the same to Mr. Mahesh Bhatt.
So we see technology getting more and more pervasive and intrusive. Okay. IoT will come in a big way or sooner or later, okay, across multiple applications, from agriculture to cars to city services, healthcare. Those are the areas where we feel this technology will keep on growing. At each stage and age of your maturity, you have to keep on adapting, adopting, and changing. That's basically what I talk with technologists as well as business people. What you used to do today, yesterday, please don't do it today. And what you do today will not be doing tomorrow. And that's the space which technology keeps you make run. Okay. So try to get some young people and some new blood who views the whole technological space through a new perspective. I'm an old hat in this industry. At 58, people say I should have been, retired. But then I have always seen guys with 35, 40 having a breath of breath. Like I have a guy with the scooters here. I love to listen to him. I would be, it would be food for thought. On batteries, I have some ideas. I have some companies. So there is a lot of space where yantra, mantra, tantra we call in technology. So tantra is technology. It will never go out of fashion. And electronics and telecommunications will see you more wondrous and more beautiful things to do. Keep your antenna on and open, and be adaptable and adaptive, and be sort of learning mode and unlearning mode and relearning mode.
Fantastic.
There's a lot to do, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mahesh. Let me quickly pass it on to Mr. Devakumar.
Yeah, I have a couple of points to make in this perspective. One is the technology will be enabling to engage with the customers in a much more deep engagement manner, and will be able to do the transactions right at the point of discussions, therefore leading to kind of an integration and exposure with the enterprise legacy processes. So the customer-centric engagement processes and access to the enterprise legacy processes are two areas that I see will enable the growth.
Fantastic, Mr. Devakumar. Over to Mr. Manav.
Yeah, so basically, the kind of solutions which can definitely enhance the productivity, we can look at robotic process automations for automating any recursive, you can say, processes which human is doing on a daily basis. So we are investing right now in terms of building conversational and voice bots, which will help companies in the inbound, outbound, you can say, calling as well. So media entertainment or real estate companies, then the speech analytics, data mining is another aspect. So right now I want to understand my consumer behavior. I want to do sentimental analysis. So these are some of the solutions which we would like to have as a product company and understand the customer better, so all the offerings can be designed around them.
Fantastic, Mr. Manav. Before we wind up this session, I think I have one last question with me. Let us all answer this in a word or in a sentence very quickly. So, what was that one major initiative of your organization to reset growth? That one major initiative to reset growth. What was it? I would start with Mr. Bhartendu. Mr. Bhartendu, are you with us? All right. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can.
So one major initiative to reset growth of your business. Kindly have your answers very short and quick.
Yes, continual virtual meeting with the clients. Follow up with the feedback.
All right. Fantastic. Thank you, sir. Mr. Durgesh?
I think going cloud is definitely the way forward. No second thoughts on that.
Right.
And making it process driven rather than people driven, so that you're completely prepared not just for the good times but also for unprecedented times as we face now.
Fantastic, Mr. Durgesh. Mr. Mahesh Bhatt?
As we see, try to adapt hybrid. I still don't see next year getting fully man-to-man or human meetings happening due to vaccination process. So use technology as much as possible and enhance your internal numbers to meet stiffer and harder targets. It's going to be tough, but growth will happen.
Fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Mahesh. Mr. Devakumar?
Collaborative innovation with customers and clients.
All right. Collaborative innovation with customers and clients. Thank you. Mr. Manav?
Yes, basically what we did, we actually extended a 3 months evaluation, you can say, period to all the customers, especially the pharmaceutical and the healthcare fraternity, where even we offered them free of cost, because we understood that right now they need collaboration with the outside world. There has to be a lot of crowdsourcing of ideas has to happen. So we had basically hosted a couple of hackathons around COVID, where the challenges were, you can say there were 12 challenges around containment, testing, and almost we got 350 ideas, and there were like 30 ideas which were shared with the, you can say, COVID task force.
All right.
So those kind of, you can say, initiatives definitely helped us coping with the COVID and even giving back to the society.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Manav. And then with that, we come to the end of today's panel discussion. And I think we all have to give ourselves a good round of applause for being here for this last 60 minutes and sharing a lot of valuable information. I think every one of the speakers had a different set of information. They were all kind of like a buffet. Everyone had their own style. Everyone had their own sort of menu to offer, starting with Mr. Mahesh, Mr. Devakumar, or Mr. Bhartendu, or Mr. Manav, or even Mr. Durgesh. And yes, of course, we had Mr. Manish Singh, who gave us a lot of explicit information about, exemplary information about how this Easy Cloud works, right? So I think we all did a very good job, and we have to give a good round of applause. But before we wind up today's session, I would like to invite Janis Das once again to give the closing thoughts. Over to you.
Thank you, Muthu, and thank you, Mr. Kapoor, Mr. Sanyasi, Mr. Bhatt, Mr. Gupta, and Mr. Vimal. I think great insights, and it really feels great, to see that there were at one point of time when Mr. Bhatt was saying that, pandemic nahi chahiye, Ishwar pandemic na de. But then yes, and we also realized that during these tough times, we have accelerated our digital transformation, which otherwise, if pandemic was not have been there, it would have taken 5 to 10 years. So I think we preponed the entire digital technology adoption, which has had its positive effects, whether it's nature, less pollution, less vehicles, less people on the street, infrastructure, breadth for the companies who are spending huge amount of money on infrastructure to accommodate all the employees in the offices and all. So I think it has taught us a lot, and there has been some good side, but of course, everything comes at a price, which we know there are negative impacts. So I look forward to interact with each one of you again. And Mr. Manav Kapoor, we'll have somebody get in touch with you for further, you wanted to know about Easy Cloud and all. So thank you once again.
Sure.
Thank you, Janice.
Thank you, Janis.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining here with us. Have a great week ahead.